Owners Association meeting and vote. Very simple. Now, you've all been given a lot to look at. We have had a change with the ballot. People have been moved around. You can't hear me? Well, if I speak up and use my military training voice, you'll be able to hear me. Okay. Now, we do not have a quorum because it would be 278 of us. I mean, out of 265, it would be 178. So, I shall start out with something good. The winners of the Christmas holiday decorations. And Flagstone has two. What did they promise you for that? Okay. 220 Flagstone. Congratulations. 220 Flagstone. 683 Flagstone. Are they here? 683 Flagstone? And 77 Limestone. All right. Congratulations. Okay. I don't have any old minutes to read and bore you to death for approval because we've never had the opportunity to see you all as a group. The most important thing that I need for you all to really look at will be the financial statements. The projected for 2024 and then the actual. And it looks very good, I have to say. But we are doing better as far as our dues paying. Everybody needs to, make sure that they get their dues in, whether you want to pay $40 a month or by quarter. I do it annually, just to get it over with. But we really need people to pay their dues because we are paying for the services. Our electricity and water is not free. And we also have the new lawn service, which I hope you're satisfied with. They seem to be doing a good job. I'm really happy about it. What we've projected for our fiscal year 2025, normally you'll increase by 10%. Hopefully we won't end up paying over that. So we're going to tighten our belts and work hard to stay within a budget. We aren't frivolous. We're using what we have already in the storeroom. I had tons of paper, so I used it. And my own stamps to get those letters out. I hope everybody got their statement. We are going to be working on that and have them out. If you want yours more often, you will need to let us know. Whoever is voted in tonight, and takes over. So we've worked on it. In fact, I don't see see Deborah Wooten, but I know Gary Hurst is here. They spent a lot of time working, trying to get these caught up and let us. I've never gotten a statement since I've lived here, and I've lived here for 8 years. But hopefully you'll get your statements so you know where you stand. And if you see an error or you have a question, then you know who to go to and get an answer. And that's hopefully what we're going to do tonight by electing, your new board members. But I wanted y'all to have that in your hand. I was going to put it up on the wall, but decided against that. That way you can take a look. And as you know, with this weather, I don't want to keep you any longer than I have to. But there are some things that we need to talk about. People not coming forward to participate in our election. And that's where I'm going to ask our attorney, Mr. Frank Olson, to talk to us about it. I honestly feel that it would be best for us, I always drop it, thank you, to go to a POA, a Property Owners Association. But because we don't have the participation that I would like to see from property owners, and let's face it, most of us are older and retired, or older and still working, and don't have time to put in to participating, I actually would suggest considering a management company. That way it takes away the interactions that have caused so many problems within our community. And let me tell you, we need to come together as a community and help each other, because that's what a community is all about. You don't do things on your own, and you don't criticize your neighbors. If they need help, if they can't get out and get their garbage can, a neighbor helps them. Do that. Think about that. That's part of what we are as Christians. So please, think about, we want a good community, and yes, if we go to a management company, we don't have to worry about the elections anymore. But we also don't have the constant infighting that we have. And we need to be more civil. Because some of the things that have been said about our neighbors, just are not appropriate. They're childish, and there is no call for it. So, with my big mouth being shut, I'm going to ask Mr. Olson to come up and talk to you about possibly going to a management company and other things that you might want to address.
Good evening, everybody. Mess with that. So, I hope y'all can hear me. Again, I'm Frank Olson, and I'm with the firm of Cobb, Olson, and Anderley in Atlanta. And just to introduce myself, to the extent I didn't get to do that last time we had a meeting and I saw you all, my firm is HOA-centric, so about 90 to 95% of everything that I do in my office is represent HOAs just like yourselves. So a couple things that I can just mention very briefly. The management company is a really good idea, especially for a community of your size, I think I have seen a couple of my clients be self-managed, but they're usually under 100 homes. You guys have over 260, I think it is. At that level, it becomes really hard for you all to be self-managed, and it just creates an incredible amount of work for the board. Everything from budgeting to collection of dues and assessments, down to conducting an election and an annual meeting. The management company can help with all that. Yes, they do charge a fee for it, of course, but we think it's, I certainly think it's well worth it. And I can tell you between, my clients that have management companies that help them do things like this and those that are self-managed, that I tend to have less problems with the ones that are managed by a management company. Yeah, I mean, that really depends. It depends on the level of service. I don't know that sure, I know. I'm just mentioning the idea. I don't really have a firm number as far as what they charge. Ballpark?
I'll recommend without any info. Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I have to back up. When was that? You said there was. Because you didn't make quorum, and that person is the remaining board member who could decide who's going to fill the spots. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what his numbers are. I was asked about 2 minutes ago to come up and speak about this, so we got to give me a break here.
You didn't expect to speak. You traveled all the way up here from Atlanta to sit here and listen.
Ms. Tomlin asked me a few minutes ago to come up and speak about a couple of things. I don't have prepared remarks.
We're not asking for prepared remarks. We're asking for a ballpark number to manage 265 residents.
I'm purely guessing, okay? Probably between $5,000 and $7,500 a year. I think $5,000 to $7,500 a year. No, not per owner. No, I think that's a flat fee for the entire thing. So, again, I don't have those numbers. Maybe it won't. Maybe it won't.
Most of the stuff we were talking about has been on Facebook, so it's me. Who cares?
Can you repeat that? Right. Well, I don't disagree with you if you feel like you're not getting you're not like a typical HOA that does have those things, those amenities. I get it. I get that concern that you're paying dues and you're not really seeing the return on it. So, yeah.
Is your office also responsible for going to the POA?
If the association were to choose to do that, yes.
That's your idea?
That isn't my idea. It's their idea, but.
Tell us the difference in a POA and an HOA.
Okay. Well, there's a major difference, which is any, I have to file a hard lien with the Coosa County records against that owner if they owe to preserve your lien rights and preserve your ability to collect on that owner.
We can do that.
Yeah, I understand. POA, you don't have to do that anymore. Your declaration becomes the lien, and in real practical terms, since I have a dollar figure on this, let me tell you.
In the $7,500 or would that
No,
be
that's,
additional?
the management fee is completely separate from anything that I charge. So here, let me get to my point, which is simply this. In a POA, if I don't have to file a lien, that saves you about $300 in legal fees per file. Okay? So, yeah, it's a huge benefit. It also, that's the filing fee charged by the recording clerk. That's not the legal fee that it charges, that my firm charges to Jennifer.
We don't need a legal fee. We can get this ourselves.
Georgia law, that's actually considered the practice of law. Filing a lien against other people. Yeah. It's an attorney-only function. So, all right. So what I was getting to was the POA can save money. It standardizes the amount of late fees and interest that you can charge. It also firms up the ability to collect attorney's fees that you have to spend on me in court if I have to go after somebody and get a judgment. It makes joint and several liability for buyer and seller if someone sells their home and they don't pay off the HOA at closing. There's some really big benefits for the POA. But that's going to take an amendment process here that, as I read your covenant, I believe it requires 2/3 of people at a meeting if quorum is met, and to meet quorum, you have to have 2/3 of the members present anyway. So it's going to be pretty hard to do that.
We were not going to let anything like that happen tonight either.
No, absolutely not. I'm just suggesting ideas for you. Yes, ma'am. It would. Right. So we may be, tilting the windmills here. So.
So our biggest problem always is the 2/3 majority of member fee and fees, correct?
That's correct.
If we were to change bylaws, which in itself is a problem, because when you get 22, it's going to be 2/3 change the bylaw, is to change the bylaws and put the people who are at this meeting. You want to get them to come to the meeting? You make this meeting more important.
Okay. No, I hear that, and I would definitely recommend, regardless of any other change you make to your covenants, that you change that quorum and lower it. That's 2/3 is extremely high. I don't know that I have a client in my client base of over 300 HOAs that has a quorum requirement that is that high. And it makes it extremely hard for you guys to do anything, really.
There's a reason for that. It's
Okay.
important that the majority of the homeowners be represented and not just a handful bully their way through. We're not even supposed to do proxy votes at the annual meeting, but you guys know that. But I see you use proxy votes, but you can't count on us being here. Because if you could have your 2/3. Proxy votes aren't supposed to be used for this election.
Okay.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong, sir?
Are you wrong about that? I don't know if you're wrong or right. Yeah. I don't know if that's true. But you cite me chapter and verse, I'd be happy to learn something.
Proxy must be signed. One or more witnesses, Georgia notary should not notarize a signature.
I'll double check
Proxies
it.
are not legal.
Okay.
If they're not witnesses. If there's no witness line on it, that's why I'm questioning for the witness.
Yeah. Don't know. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll take on that. Sure, please. Where did you hear that? You need to.
Are you actively working on
No,
that?
I'm not. Somebody, I forget who it was, I don't know if it was Gary or somebody, emailed me a copy of things that and said, you know what, I'm just going to stop this process because if you want it done, and this is no slight against Gary, but you know, if you really want it done correctly, you need to have an attorney draft it start to finish, and not just have me review it. So, you know, I don't know. But I am not actively working on any amendment for you. I'm not, you know, aside from any collection work that you may have referred to me, that's pretty much all I'm doing at this point for you. So,
No, that's, you know,
I don't know if there is.
our covenant and bylaws are a legal document. And so, we need to have it done right. And ours is the original from the builder. So,
It's not a bad thing necessarily.
it's not necessarily a good thing.
If it were up to me, this is my own personal opinion, I would rewrite your documents in a way that's more favorable. Quorum. I would make it much easier for official business to be transacted in this one. Okay. Well, you know, it's gonna take hell and high water to change this anyway, based on what we
The
just
city
said.
board last year had a lawsuit brought against it. You didn't seem to want to do a whole lot about that. As the city law was hired by that board, I wasn't impressed.
Okay. Are you asking me a question?
No, I'm making a general
Okay.
statement, lest anybody get knocked out.
Okay. The lawsuit got dismissed, right?
Ultimately, but it wasn't because of anything you did.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay. Very good. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, see, apparently we don't have a quorum. Are we gonna vote for officers? Is it gonna count, or are we sitting here wasting our time?
No, it's gonna count.
But we're saying it's not a quorum, well, that, I've been here 2 years.
Can we change the quorum? Can we change the number?
Yes.
You have to amend.
50% or whatever it has to be.
You have to
People are
amend your
interested
requirements.
enough to come and live with what the people that come here do, decide. I mean, this is the fourth or fifth meeting I've been to, and we never get anything done, we just spin our wheels.
Well, that's where we hope to stop that. If I have to sit down and start getting with Mr. Olson and Frank and start
I can't hear a word you're saying.
Yeah. Use this. And sit it down.
No, no. I'm old and I just lost my train of thought.
I'm old, I can't hear, so.
We need to make a beginning to change things. Tonight is a beginning. We all need to get together and do something to make our neighborhood a community where people talk to each other and, you know, don't badmouth each other. It takes time. It takes a lot of time. Excuse me. But we do need to come out of the Stone Age, and our covenant and bylaws need to change. Yes, the quorum needs to change. We've got to get our financial house in order. And let me tell you something. God bless Valerie, because I looked at that, the QuickBooks program, and I want to make things things as simple as possible so we all can read it. If you don't have the training that like Gary has, you don't understand it. It is hard. It is a hard program. That's why we want statements to go out so that we can say, hey, and it takes time. I've got at least 14 now. Thank you. 14 people who sent me things that I've got to go through and see if they're correct or they're not. There's some people whose payments weren't posted.
Now, this is after Valerie's, during Valerie's time, they were not posted, or after Valerie?
Well, some of them were after. Some were before, but some are after. You know, I have a knowledge, a basic knowledge, but it's not enough to actually sit down every day. That's almost a full-time job right now.
First of all, I don't know you.
Yeah.
Secondly, I've been with you for 5 years, and I thought you would cut all the internet pages because of the back and forth that's been going on.
I agree.
I know that you're going to need to stop.
I know. My name is Carolyn Tomlin. I'm an old, crusty, retired Air Force Master Sergeant. And they put me in Washington, D.C. for the last 8 years. Gary, what?
I just want to point out in our existing covenants, it does say that the president in person will not proxy of 2/3 constitutes quorum. So it does include in person will not proxy. That's in our existing covenants. So if we have enough proxies in addition to people here, we leave out a quorum.
Hey, that is something that now we know.
Subsection A, unless the articles or bylaws prohibit or limit proxy voting, a member may vote in person or by proxy. B, a member or his or her agent or attorney in fact may appoint a proxy to vote or otherwise act for the member by signing an appointment form either personally or by an electronic transmission. An electronic transmission must contain or be accompanied by information from which can be determined that the member may vote in the electronic transmission. C, an appointment of a proxy is effective when a signed appointment form or electronic transmission of the appointment is received by the secretary or other officer or agent authorized to tabulate votes. An appointment is valid for 11 months unless a different period is expressly provided in the appointment form. D, an appointment of a proxy is revocable by the member. E, death or incapacity of a member appointing a proxy does not affect the right of the corporation to accept the proxy's authority unless the notice of the death or incapacity is received by the secretary or other officer or agent authorized to tabulate votes for the proxy exercises authority under the appointment. I'm going to continue. There is no witness requirement for a proxy form under Georgia law.
How do we know that all of those proxy votes,
They've not been verified.
they're not verified, they're not even numbered? So, but you could have filled that handed them in when I got here.
Okay, what we did,
Voted again.
what we did is your ballot has the number of proxies that you brought in.
I can write in 10
And we're gonna, I've got the list of every resident here, and I'm gonna go through it, and if they're not valid, you have to toss them. Okay. Yes.
What does our covenant say about those that are not handing a proxy in? What does that vote equal?